Okay, so hello guys, welcome back. We are recording the third episode of
Third or second? Oh, yeah, sure.
the first one is Bollywood, so let's keep it as is for now, even if it's not the best one.
Okay.
So the third episode, the third episode of our podcast Kuch, and the topic is middle class childhood. I think that's a very good topic that Bharat.
Middle class childhood.
I think middle class childhood's topic is a good topic to talk on. Thank you to Bharat for suggesting that topic. So let's start with you only, Bharat. Where were you born? Which city you were born, and what are the first memories of your childhood?
I was told I am born in Tiruchi in India.
Oh, you were not born in Chennai?
I was not born in Chennai.
The way you
Dude, this
boast
shit
about
haunted me my whole fucking life. I don't remember an ounce of Tiruchi because my parents, even before they had me, they had moved to Chennai 10 years before that.
Okay.
My dad had been living in Chennai for 25 years even before that, and my mom had been living for 10 years. Just for having me, but they went to fucking Tiruchi and brought me.
Maybe because your native is Tiruchi.
Yeah, but what is this shit? Now I have to deal with this criticism for life now. Roshni and all, like my wife was so Gujarati by culture. She prides, I am born in Chennai, you're not even born in Chennai. Dude, I lost my birthright.
I mean the way you boast about Chennai, that is very true.
Exactly. For me, I'm not from Tiruchi, I'm from Chennai.
Yeah, it doesn't work anymore.
But I don't remember absolutely anything else of 0 to 5, the early ages of me being young. I'm told I was in a joint family. There are photos of it. I have no recollection of it at this point.
Okay. So
I think I'm old.
So your earliest recollection of your life is from Chennai, and where were you?
Oh, how old? That was I was probably 5, 6, 4, 5 maybe. Playing in the streets. So many people I knew. Everybody, my father knew, and everybody knew us. So it was a thing. We played in the streets with kids, and we had a house, only 3 people house. It was not it's not like apartment and all.
Yeah,
just 3 houses in the same building. Lot of space around the house, dead end. That's where we still live, but the house was very nice back then. Those were my old memories of that house. We reconstructed the house, we still live there, but the old house is what I remember earliest.
So how big was your house? In India we call it flat.
Flat.
So let's say how big was your flat?
740 square feet.
So that was a 2-bedroom hall kitchen.
That was a 2-bedroom hall, and it is not like how you think of houses now. It used to be a small house, but very open. Very open house, and there was so much space.
700 square feet for a 2-bedroom is good.
Yeah, it's good. And I'm saying, dude, we had huge areas outside the house.
Outside, I understand. But and you were still 3. So, that means you had your own bedroom.
No, I never had an own bedroom until I was nearly 13 or something. And I first started having my own girlfriend and all, kind of girl talk and everything. That's when my parents thought that I should actually have my own bedroom and all.
Wait, but you still had 2 bedrooms in your home?
Yeah. We all used to sleep together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We all used to sleep together on each other very long time. And wait, how old? See, I'm 36, you're
31.
So 5-year difference. So there's a good chance that you will remember more of this. What do you remember of your early first memories of life?
I have a very this very blurred memory, but I remember, at least for middle class people, somehow, or probably it's the parents thing, but I remember I was in a girl's dress, pink color dress, and I remember, we used to stay in our dad's company's quarters, and there was a small garden next to our main gate, and it was a picturesque garden.
They took a photo.
I very clearly remember me standing there, and I don't remember if pictures were clicked, who clicked it, but I remember that me standing there in a pink dress. I
How
remember
old
that.
do you think you were?
Probably 3, 4.
3, 4.
Yeah, 3, 4.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. See, like that's nice to know that you.
Yeah,
And it's a common thing amongst a lot of middle class people. They'll dress their kids up as the other gender.
which is very odd because
Yeah,
I had a sister. So, I mean, they already had a girl who
No,
could wear
it's not
these
about
dresses.
that. It's just a thing. So, like how you are able to remember that as a memory. No? That's where they do that.
Yeah, because I remember that was the first garden that they took me to, and the next one was on the back side of the building. There was another garden, and then they took me there as well to click pictures. And why that got more clear to me later was when I grew up and I saw the pictures of me wearing those. I was like, okay, I was not dreaming sometime in my childhood that I was wearing a pink dress and being taken around the building to click pictures. God knows what the heck they got out of that, but yeah.
Dude, think about Anand. They make him wear all kinds of clothes. Right?
Yeah.
It's a good memory. That's how you remember that.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it might be embarrassing for you to think about it at an earlier stage, but later in life you'll be like, nice.
That's true. Yeah, and we stayed in a joint family. So I grew up in a very big family. So the quarters, the flat that we had was a two bedroom kitchen, a hall kitchen flat.
How many people lived in your?
That's where I come to. We were 11 people.
Holy fuck.
Yes.
Nice.
So it should be more than 11 because 6, like my mom, dad, my uncle, aunt, my granddad, grandmom, those are 6. We 4 kids, 10. And I had another uncle who got married later and he moved out.
11 people and how much, which apartment?
In a 2-bedroom hall kitchen. And there was only 1 toilet and 1 bathroom.
Yeah, baat kar raha hai, chut.
Exactly. Lived the proper middle class
Holy
environment,
shit.
let me say that way.
Dude,
Yeah.
damn, that's interesting.
So how it was is mom and dad had their own bedroom. They were in the master bedroom, if I can call that. Then my uncle and aunt were in the other bedroom. And the kids usually until we were I think 6, 7 years old, we used to sleep in, because the rooms were big enough to accommodate another small bed. So, the kids would sometimes sleep there. But yeah, once we grew a little older and felt like we should be not in that room anymore, we had a big living room, like a long living room. So there would be
Nice.
not cots, but like just
rollouts
that were completely spread out the entire living room, and there was 5 people sleeping on that. And my granddad used to sleep on a small bed on the side.
Yeah, when I grew, that's what I'm saying, right? Like I'm told I grew up in a joint family. I don't remember how many people lived, and
it was interesting because that was just a normal day-to-day living. But imagine when my other uncle and his kids and wife would come. So we would be 15, 16 people in that 2-bedroom
Holy
apartment.
shit.
We like privacy तो छोड़ ही दो वो तो privacy मेरे को US आके समझा, because even until I came to the US, I didn't have my own bedroom. So my sisters had. So when we just fast forward, just to give a bit of idea of why I say I never got privacy until US is because when we moved out of the apartments, the quarters, and dad got his own apartment. So everyone moved, but my granddad was no more with us until then, and my uncle had moved out, who got later married. तो वो टाइम पे भी ऐसा था कि मॉम डैड का खुद का बेडरूम, मास्टर, अंकल आंटी का बेडरूम, माई सिस्टर्स हैड अ बेडरूम, एंड आई यूज्ड टू स्लीप इन द लिविंग रूम, एंड माई ग्रैंड मॉम वाज taking the same bed that my granddad used to sleep on. Nice. So basically my entire 22 years of my life, I never had a bedroom for myself.
Damn, dude. I mean, I had a bedroom. I didn't use the privacy.
Yeah, but I never. For me, privacy didn't exist, and
dude, you lived in Mumbai, don't you?
Yeah. नहीं, पर I mean, family बहुत बड़ा था.
But even then, I think Mumbai is just overcramped too. People
It
go
is.
there and get fucked for real estate.
It is. And
why would you live like that?
yeah, and I think the other thing was that
Like-
my dad and his brothers are still very closely connected. Like they really are so closely connected that they never felt that need to get out of the house, though they each had their own homes. Like, not in Mumbai, outside of Mumbai somewhere, but since my dad and my uncle used to work in same, that time it was called BSES or Abhi Reliance Energy hai, and then Adani now. So yeah, so since they used to work together in the same company, they just thought of being together and save on because we still had to pay rent for the quarters. And yeah, so I mean, a lot of things, and whoa, that was my introduction to middle class. I never knew about middle class way down the line in my life. I understood, but समझा कि oh, that's middle class where you are.
I didn't know that at all. I mean, I realize everything now. Like, even back then, I never. I mean, I think my father grew up with that attitude. Like, he was a union leader. So like, he never gave a fuck. Like, and he was very influential also. So money was not something that characterized where we were. I never feared anybody because he knew everybody.
Yeah.
Like his influence with police, politics. He had that force, dude. Labor work force.
हमारा तो हमारे घर में ही fear रहता था.
For me, I never had fear. But I think, dude, my parents would. But like, think about this. I never had privacy until so late. Like, I think only when I knew that this is something that will be nice for me. That was nice. I can speak phone and like I don't have to like deal with like having them ask me when I'm going to sleep. Like I had a girlfriend later and I wanted to use the landline and talk in the night, and they'll be like, "What is this here on the phone?" So that is when. But till then, they knew I wanted to talk. This fuck all thing they'll do, dude. Parents. I mean, like, तेरे को पता है मेरे को बात करने का.
मेरे को तो I think for me and this is I think one of the biggest topic of when it comes to middle class and your childhood में तो privacy तो तेल लेने गया. Privacy तो
because you were in Mumbai, dude.
But I'm saying कि overall Mumbai to Mumbai, but I mean I'm pretty sure there might be a lot of people like who might have grown up like me in the same situation.
In Mumbai?
Not really.
Dude, middle class in Chennai have privacy. Middle
but
class
okay,
in
I think
not like middle you're saying.
But I think we like as we are talking about childhood, privacy is the last thing that should matter technically. We
nobody
covered a lot. But yeah, anyway, but I think middle class childhood में the other thing was जो मुझे पसंद नहीं था, but I had to share a lot of my food when we used to go outside because बहुत खर्चा होता था जब साथ में जाते थे, तो things had to be shared and I'm not a very keen person of sharing food, तो वो सब बहुत करना पड़ता है. And that is like I quite nicely remember कि we have a restaurant called Sapna Hotel next to our.
Oh, you'll have to buy one and then share with.
That तो वो तो होता ही था, but when I say that used to be a big thing for us. Like it's not a big hotel, like 1 star भी नहीं है वो ऐसे. But when we used to go, we used to get ready in a way that आज feast है. That is probably one of the earliest memories of going to a restaurant would be like आज अच्छा खाना मिलने वाला है.
Correct.
And
man,
we have to dress up well.
Oh yeah,
we cannot just go with
it's not just
normal
a
clothes. Yeah, so I think that was
an event in the middle. Like in middle class, it was like a big thing.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, my parents never took me to hotels that much.
Okay.
Like it used to be like a rare thing.
Yeah.
And I used to be so excited because I grew up South Indian in proper Tamil household, vegetarian food, very amazing food, but nobody makes fucking roti, paneer. None of that shit even like happened. So when that comes, I'll be so happy and so excited. And my parents could make it. They never gave a fuck because they didn't like it. So for me, hotel will be like, "Arey yaar, roti le, I'll eat roti once in a while." For that, I'd be very excited or restaurants. I'll get this North Indian food, and I didn't care which restaurant I went, but it was an event.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I suddenly I remembered one thing. So I have a cousin, and for some reason we both used to have these. For no reason, there was this invisible competition that we had with each other for random shit. And one of the very odd memories I remember is हम लोग biscuit खा रहे थे. We both were given a packet of biscuits, and था ये कि कौन सबसे लास्ट खत्म करता है. Bullshit. Like, I don't know what the fuck we were thinking, but कौन सबसे लास्ट खत्म करता है.
It's an excellent game, bro.
Excellent game.
Yeah.
Excellent. And the issue is, I'm a very fast eater. I eat very fast. For me to control was so difficult. I finished my biscuits and I thought I finished it after him, and I was so happy. Suddenly that fucker just got one out from his pocket and he was like, ye le bhai, last mera baki tha. That burnt me so much. But to ask money just to buy another biscuit to show him कि ले चूतिए मैं और एक खरीद लेके आ सकता हूँ, that was not going to happen. So I remember I was angry and upset because I lost. Angry because I cannot buy another one because मम्मी को क्या बोलेगा, एक पैकेट दिया था पूरे दिन खाने के लिए. We finished it like a bet, and now I have to eat more. So yeah, those were some interesting memories that we had. So, but I mean, you don't have siblings.
I don't have
siblings.
I have.
Yeah. So because वो भी एक चीज होता है ना कि at my place I was the only boy and there were 3 girls. So, and my sister is like 7 years older to me.
All of them.
But the other 2 sisters, one is 2 years older to me and one is 1 year younger to me. So things used to get shared, like books during school time. They used to share the uniforms, like badi ka choti use kar rahi hai, and all those things. So did you have anything like those, like even
I see
within
that
the
now
family?
with my kids because I have 2 now and they share everything. Right?
Uh-huh.
It's a normal pass down of.
Yeah.
And but for us the pass down is limited because one of them is a girl, the other one is a boy. So as the second one grows, sharing will not happen. But as far as I can see, we would continue sharing the other things. They're going to share.
Correct.
I never had that. So for me, when you said I can't share food, for me sharing came as something, and that's why I'm impressed with my parents. How do they teach sharing? I never cared for sharing it. So it's a difficult concept to pick up unless you have siblings.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why I'm like always impressed. Like, Appa, I'm not a Lauda. Like, sometimes you do appreciate like that, like in a way that you don't recognize. But for me, when I grew up, like I knew middle class because my parents were so dumb. They thought putting me in like a very rich person's school will make me better. So they put me in this where all actors kids like Rajni. I went to school in the same class with Rajnikant's daughter.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, Vijay daughter. All actors. A. Rahman's nephew, G.V. Prakash. They all went to my school. Like same standards, same sections. So many of them, So, like that is when I knew that what brands they were using. Like Hero pen used to be a thing. Like Stedler pencil. I don't know if you have those brands. Like I don't know if there were equivalents of those luxury brands you remember of pen and pencil. Hero pen. There was this micro tip pen. Dude, that was a luxury.
That is true. That's luxury.
Like branded items like that. That's when I knew that I'm in middle class. I'm not going to be
correct.
I had a ball pen or
I think that's
camel pencil. I used camel pencil.
Pen. I agree. That is like the epitome वो childhood का middle class वाला कि भाई एक पेन चलाना है लंबे टाइम तक, नया पेन मिलेगा नहीं, refill डालना है. Yeah, those things.
You actually plan so much around a pen.
Like
you don't just like you don't think of it as a.
You need to be like so careful of things because, and my mom was very strict, so I anyways used to be like, ऐसा कुछ करना नहीं, because my extracurricular activities used to get me a lot of scoldings anyways. So I thought few things at least I should leave it for being in the right place. So I agree to that. Ki, luxury within a childhood for a middle class can be really small
I
things.
agree.
Like literally eating outside is like a luxury. Like
Yeah, dude, like, and somewhere luxury also, like this and all, I find it also as somewhere we've learned responsibility like that.
true. I mean, we learn to respect a lot of things.
Exactly.
We do.
We don't take things for granted.
Yeah, we
That's
do. Yeah.
we appreciate the
Yeah.
luxuries when we get them.
And maybe that is another reason why I have seen me and my sister and my other two cousins that since we grew in an environment, we cannot spend a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It overall, like even now when I have a house of mine, the only thing that I could think of when I wanted to put things in my house was what do I need for every day? Rest, nothing do I care about. Like
That's true.
that money
we
doesn't
come
get
to that point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, those decisions are not money driven. But I think I grew up with a mentality like that.
I mean, but it's funny to think about it now that, or it's interesting to think about it that at that early age you saw something and your mind is still using it, like down 30, 35, 36 years.
We don't like just spend money like a nutcase.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah,
I mean, I cannot even think about doing that for some reason.
Yeah, people here live, but the thing I'm saying is we also appreciate when we spend it. We appreciate that luxury.
Oh, yeah.
We
Oh,
know the
absolutely.
difference.
Yeah,
We're like, ye tha.
Haan.
It was good.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did
yeah.
this. You remember that and you appreciate
Yeah.
it. Like you're not like dissatisfied with just doing stuff. That will be sad. Right? Like that is what I feel bad for. Like very rich kids. I feel like how will they appreciate the difference in like they have to keep going higher and higher. And
Yeah.
So for me, humble beginnings. I understand now why it's an important thing to have.
Yeah, I think, and that this is also something that probably because one of the thing was because my dad was he quite later in his life he got the much needed promotions and hikes in his salary that we could afford he could afford a home for himself and all. But yeah, I think somewhere down the line, parents of middle class also try to keep their child from their childhood known to the fact that
there is risk.
There is risk. There are things that like क्योंकि school के time पे भी I remember that अगर मेरे को कुछ like if I wanted to buy something, I always had those two doubts. Like even early in my age, I used to have.
I think that's why my parents didn't grow me up right.
Yeah.
My parents are bad. They let me, dude. They actually didn't have that because I am like that now. I can tell. With Meera, I'm a bad parent. But like somewhere, I've not learned to. While I've not learned to value money, that is because of different things. What I understand is I recognize it that my parents have done that. Money is something you need. It's something that they've baked in my head where it's like, even if you can't value it, know that you need money. So learn to accept that you will have to make it. You like be ready to make like that.
And even if they don't tell you, you can see from their actions.
It's a lesson that
like
my parents
just live through it.
Yeah, because I saw my parents work. Dude, my dad never did any work actually, but he'd go to the office, chill out, do random shit, and he did that for 60 years. So I'm saying that they found their thing where it didn't really. So I felt like I understood the concept that you need this thing as money to support your other sort of things. So that's like and that's why I tell Roshni that like if you know the value of it, you should take control of this whole thing. Because for me, I will not pass on I don't trust myself to pass it how my parents passed it to me. I don't trust myself to pass it correctly like that. That parenting, middle class only brings.
That does. Indeed. I mean,
your parents growing up.
Me just buying a car, it took me such a long time.
Same.
Not because of the performance or anything else of the car, but more of the price that the car came with. Like, it is so ingrained in me that every single thing that goes beyond a particular price, my head is like, do I need this? and if I need it, how long will this go? It comes with that, like, and I'm
Dude,
sub.
it has to be.
It's so odd that I have been here in the States for what now? This is my 9th year, and I still cannot leave that.
You should not do it.
No, I'm saying
The
that I
longer
still
you
cannot.
keep that, right, it is somewhere it will start going lower. The threshold falls.
It does. It does.
And once that threshold falls, right, you will want to be in a place where you are, I know.
वो भी आएगा, of course, वो time आएगा.
Exactly, and you will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like in a way that I feel, and that is coming from middle class upbringings. Like the way you are able to appreciate it. And that is, dude, think of our parents growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one other level. Whatever the fuck they went through. But,
Alright, so coming back to the topic of childhood, middle class times. So what, do you remember any early trips that you used to have with your family, like vacations or something, and
fuck off, that or not.
any kind of cut downs on cost that used to happen just because it's too expensive?
Cost cut down.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
didn't have
you know,
I didn't
not
have
going
cable,
to places
Cable
because-
I didn't have growing up.
Okay. Oh,
I didn't
wow,
have a
okay.
telephone while growing up. We didn't have a two-wheeler, like a motored vehicle. We
Nothing
didn't
at
have.
all.
No. I never grew up with a cable television. I only had Doordarshan, and I didn't have a telephone at home, and no more. Like we had a cycle, and that was it. And with this, my dad put me in the school where fucking Rajnikant's kids go. Now think about it. I'm like, hey, what an dumbass. Like I got because of my father's fierce nature of like being a union leader and everything, even from back then, I never gave a fuck about anybody. That's what I went through. Because he was good he knew everybody, all the politicians, policemen and all. In a way he knew. So that was the only thing that saved my ass from that school. They would have eaten me alive otherwise. That is no compromise as such, dude. That is what I'm saying. My parents were dumb. They should have done compromise.
Yeah, for me, I've traveled not much during my childhood. I remember the only big family trip was, and also because there was a lot of cost. My granddad, grandmom, and everything. My dad had to take care of a few things at home. So Mathiran was the biggest trip of my childhood that I remember.
How old was he?
Probably 7, 8. Yeah, 8.
Oh, but that's still like old. Like you don't remember anything younger than that?
No, exactly.
Yeah, dude, I went to Kedarnath and Badrinath.
Oh wow,
I remember that.
no. I think that is the earliest, like a proper vacation that we had. Like we used to have those beaches and all, and वो भी एक ऐसा रहता था ना कि beach पे जाना है तो like you have been to Juhu Beach, so you know all the stalls that are there at the Juhu Beach, that one side of the Juhu Beach. वो होता ऐसा था ना कि खाना घर से जाएगा सब कुछ, बट सिंस अभी इधर आए हैं तो क्या करेंगे, या तो अगर सबको खाना है तो एक एक गोला ले लो एंड शट अप, अदरवाइज I mean it was not that bad. I mean probably I'm putting it really bad, but या तो वो करो या तो जो स्टॉल है वहां से 1-2 चीजें लो, वो तुम खाओ ताकि वो तुम्हें बैठने के लिए जगह दे. दे गिव यू एवरीथिंग टू सिट एंड दे सर्व यू लिटिल बिट फूड, एंड बाकी जो है तुम अपना लेके जो आए हो, ओपन दैट एंड ईट. That is probably my earliest outings that I used to have with my family. Yeah, those were the outings, and the only outing after that was the Mathiran. Like that I remember. उसमें भी ऐसा होता था कि since there are so many people, so they would do everything for their kids, no doubt in that. Like my parents never.
Yeah, you don't feel like you don't have something.
Yeah,
you never feel that.
Yeah, they never let me feel that way. But when I remember now, I can see that they were cutting costs here and there. Yeah. Like Mathiran is known for horses, specifically. Like since vehicles are not allowed up there on the hill, or even later they started it, but that time vehicles itna nahi hota tha. So the only way is to go around either walking. They had those cycles and horses. तो उसमें भी पैसा लग रहा था. तो only the kids are going over the horses for some time. Then the other time some other person is going. So they used to distribute it so that the cost stays as is and सबको मिल जाए जो जिसके लिए इधर तक आए हैं. So yeah, those were the things that we used to do.
Oh, so like that.
Yeah, because I mean that's how a middle class can enjoy, right? In a way that they cannot just go out of bounds when they are even traveling. Like my mom still till date, when I
see like that, I'm thinking like see for us beach was not a thing because beach for I grew up right next to it, so going with my parents to the beach was every day. It was like an everyday thing for us. It was not like a big thing. And but earlier memories were like going to the market and all. With my father, he used to take me out a lot. But I'm now thinking like that cutting cost thing you're saying. Like I'm going out, so he'll buy me something. And that won't happen till that one store comes. In the end, he'll ask me to pick one from one of the dabbas. But till then, he won't like offer to like buy. He'll know I'm there only for that. So in that way, I get it now. Like those might have been basically his ways of cutting cost. Or bus. I grew up only taking the bus. I've never taken auto. And auto was a luxury.
Same here. Like even when we used to go to school, we used to go in auto. But the thing is, it was more of like 5 bacche, and every kid has like every kid's mom will take a rotation. It was like a rotation thing where today my mom will take all the 5 kids to the school in the auto rickshaw, so they will share all the cost going and coming back. And then the next day the other one will do. And I got to know quite later that since like इतना पैसा नहीं था तब ऑटो रिक्शे का, but my mom sometimes used to come back walking from school to home. It was probably 15 minutes walk or something, but she would come back walking or take a bus so that she could save that money.
But
I mean,
I feel like good borderline. While it might have been cost cutting, your mom might have enjoyed it.
It is possible. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not possible, but it's also because somehow she has that
innate need
that she wants to save. Like
it's like in their blood, dude.
Probably,
my mom is still confused like that.
I mean, I don't know a single trip of mine that I started doing, traveling that I started doing after I graduated from my masters, and she hasn't poked me saying that, do you remember how much money do you spend on every trip? And I have never shown her my actual cost, otherwise I think she will not be happy. She'll actually ask me to invest it somewhere other than traveling. So they have that innate thing.
That's good, dude. That's good in a way. And you have to hold on to that feeling long enough because you're going to get out of touch with it. At one point you will.
It will. But I'm hoping.
And that's good. But the longer it lasts, right? That's also good.
Yeah.
It's a good experience to have. So, my mom, dude, this time I'm going to India, I'm sitting in my house in Chennai. Fucking internet is so shit. I'm like telling her, why don't you get this Jio or Airtel, which is way better? Some shit she has. So she's like, I can't change now because I lose 200 rupees I've paid for this full month.
And that goes on.
So इधर बैठा है मैं छूटिए की तरह like fucking I can't play anything at home. And my mom is like so double watching. I showed you one video. Entertainment consumption on a tablet and TV.
I think that's why she enjoys more over here because she gets the unlimited, gets the high speed speed.
They're also high speed because she is using. I can't use. There's no bandwidth.
So this bandwidth is gone.
For 200 rupees, she won't change also. So I'm like stuck.
Oh gosh.
This other bedroom, the internet doesn't come only. So I couldn't talk to my kids also for 2 days.
Wow. Damn. Okay. Yeah. No. I mean. Yeah.
That is till date. So that. Like, udhar hi hai. Like, it's a mental state you're in.
What's the best birthday party from your childhood that you remember? Not yours. If not yours, then something that you attended.
Birthday party alone.
Okay, but you might have attended someone's like.
So that was something that that is when I knew. I think at some level we were not in that class.
Okay, yeah.
For me, I think birthday parties were kept by a lot of kids parties, like, like calling all the kids and having like a party and all, I went to like another person's house whom I knew, like I felt like he and me were not the same. Like you get that vibe,
Yeah,
bro. Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
that I had.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to think of parties.
Hmm.
And like I wanted one. At one point, even I think I harassed my parents, and they also like very unwillingly threw a party. Like,
Yeah.
all my friends came up, all like loved ones came up. Unwillingly, like if you see the photos, there in one corner over there.
Oh man, yeah, it's one thing to have a party. Like in my home, since there were 4 kids, and I mean I think my sister had the best childhood of all the 4 kids that we were, because she was the only kid for quite a long time. Because she was the only kid, she was loved by everyone. Like she was pampered and loved by everyone, and so that
all the attention.
Like I have seen pictures of her birthdays, like a few of them, and they look like, okay, this was celebrated. But when there were 3 kids born back to back, I think they were like, chalo, abhi budget mein dalna padega. So yeah, I remember a couple of my birthdays, and I remember the one that after which we never had a birthday party for me at my place, and I'm not sure why. One, probably because I was old enough to now not have one. I was probably 7, 8.
7, 8, so you should have it.
Yeah, so I don't remember. So, but the other reason is probably because I had asked them, I think I had begged them for a birthday party, and they finally threw one for me. The amount of chaos that I made, like the fun chaos that I made with my friends and everyone, was so much that I think my mom was like, this is enough. I think he doesn't deserve another one. Because it was so odd, because I have a very good memory that my friends had got me gifts, of course, small gifts and all. तो पहले हमारे घर पे ऐसा होता था कि गिफ्ट सब कुछ पार्टी के बाद खोलना है, अभी किसी को कुछ देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. I was in so much of fun and my friends were pushing me कि अरे खोल के देखना क्या है गिफ्ट. I opened one, then I was like, एक तो खुल गया, सब खोला. I think somewhere that clicked my mom. She's like, okay, अब ये हाथ में नहीं रहा. She was like, okay, no more birthday parties after that. I don't remember any birthday party after that. Never had a birthday party. But I mean, it used to happen, but it used to happen only in the family. No more the friends' business. But yeah, so I remember that, but I also remember the good birthday parties that I used to go in my building, which used to be held up at in our terrace. Big ones, proper songs and everything. So we used to enjoy that a lot because we didn't used to get ours. तो अभी उसमें एक चीज था कि हमारे बिल्डिंग में, since it was a company quarters, people used to come and go, right? So एक बंगाली बाबू आए थे हमारे बिल्डिंग में रहने को, and he was new, and his kid's birthday was around the corner. So maybe his mom had asked the neighbor कि किसको किसको बुलाए. So they had basically only called the people on that floor. पर अभी हमको तो बर्थडे पार्टी चाहिए क्योंकि केक अच्छा है. एंड हमको पता चला था कि वो केक आया है one of the best cake shops that we had in that area. Like we had not even tasted that cake, but we had heard the cake is really nice. So
nice.
पूरा टाइम वो फ्लोर पे खेलता रहा, मैं अकेला खेलता रहा. मालूम था कि मेरे को कोई नहीं बुला रहा है, because everyone went into their homes to get ready for that birthday. I am the only one. I think वो आंटी इतने टेंशन में आ गई, उन्होंने वो नेबर को पूछा कि भाई, like, is everything fine? That neighbor came and said, उनको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, तू जा घर पे.
Oh.
And that's when I went home and I was so angry and so furious that साला केक भी नहीं मिला, इज्जत भी खराब हो गई. And how old was I? Probably 10, 11 था. And इज्जत की तो मैं ऐसे बात कर रहा था जैसे क्या हो गया भाई. But then after that I was like, अब तो इसके बर्थडे में जाने का ही नहीं है. But next year I went because क्योंकि किसी ने बोला था कि केक बहुत अच्छा था. And I couldn't resist it.
इज्जत 1 year I waited for this cake. Now the fuck off it.
I mean, yeah, because that anger went away. So it was quite funny because it was foolish of me to first get angry, but then no wonder I still vouch for a cake when I go to any birthday parties, even for a kid's birthday party that I go here. I'm like, cake पहले चाहिए भाई. केक से बहुत अलग रखा है सालों ने.
Birthday parties.
But you were you studied in a school, or you studied in the same class as such big people around you. You were never invited to a birthday party.
I knew.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. When I used to go to their house, dude, they had these bungalows. Like I'm talking about like proper bungalows. They had so many maids and whatnot. Yeah. We used to have like parties, but then like I used to get invited, but like in bungalows too. Like we could play a proper cricket. There used to be people with nets in their house.
Oh, wow.
Like these were like proper rich people. And like I could sense the massive gap in the kind of. So I used to enjoy the parties because dude, you get to play cricket inside a house, and they'll give you like juice.
I don't think
sandwich.
Yeah, sandwich is like
True sandwich.
middle class के लिए तो sandwich मतलब भाई यूरोप चले गए सही है.
Sandwich.
Yeah.
So yeah.
आज तो sandwich पे कुछ देखता भी नहीं sandwich की तरफ. Like yeah, it was a big thing. I agree. Sandwich and juice. Juice तो मेरे घर पे मेरे को लगता है पानी में शक्कर डाल के दे देते थे हमको.
Juice, I don't know. Yeah, well, my dad started making juice for us.
Yeah, for us juice was only tomato soup. I don't remember. Yeah, हमारे घर पे and that was the funny like that used to be the very curious part of my childhood, because when I used to go at some neighbor's place for dinner or like randomly just like sometimes I used to go alone and वहाँ पे खा लिया तो auntie used to give me juice दे देती थी कभी dinner के साथ. I'm like भाई ये क्या है ये सब कहाँ आ गया, because for me it was just dinner and water. Like, and also because since we never saw that at my place, right, we never even thought of asking for it. And we somewhere also knew that कि अगर वो जूस का कार्टन आया घर पे तो एक सिटिंग में वो पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा, इतने सारे लोग हैं. So that's not something that you can have for regular anyways. ऐसा नहीं है कि रोज का रोज कार्टन लेके आएगा जूस का and you can drink it, because the other homes had 2 kids, probably 1 kid. So those were the things that we used to also.
I don't think we ever even bought like juice box and all. I don't even remember like first time I'm thinking that I had like a branded like a fruity or juice like that was when I was probably definitely over like in my teens, dude. I don't think till then my parents bought me these. They never got me one of those. I think once I got access to like pocket money concept. That is when I started getting stuff from outside. Until then, I didn't get much.
Yeah. For me, also, like, you used to have Maggie during your childhood? Never. At my place also, they used to avoid. But Maggie had something in it. I don't know what, but very rarely, once in a year is something that we used to have Maggie at home. But mere friends in my school time, they used to bring Maggie in their tiffin, or they used to bring sandwiches, as you said. So those were things that would be like, that's a change that I wanted to have. So I used to somehow grab a little bit from their tiffin. कभी-कभी गाली भी सुनना पड़ता था because I used to eat a lot. But yeah, those were the things that I used to have outside, because घर पे we lived in a very like budget constrained environment for quite some time. So we had, and now I can understand. तब मेरे को वो लगता था, I used to get angry as well कि why don't we get this at home? Why don't we make this?
You will get that.
Now I understand that things come with money, and money has to be saved in a middle class home. So I remember these like. लग्जरी का तो मेरे ख्याल से एक लिस्ट बन सकता है when it comes to luxury and all these things. But traveling that we spoke about, what else do you think about, like for a middle class childhood that?
Like, dude, for me, I'm thinking of computer. First
Oh
time I
yeah,
got
oh yeah.
computer.
When did you get your first computer?
I was in 11th standard.
Okay, yeah. Probably I was in my 9th grade.
I was 11th standard when I got computer, but
Eighth
for
grade.
getting the computer,
Uh-huh.
I fought for 1 year.
Oh wow, no, I didn't have to fight. That was a surprise for me.
Because all my other friends had gotten computers. And those are my friends, in your, it's not like they're like very
Rich or something.
rich or anything. You just know people.
Yeah.
I was telling my parents, you should get. Dude, everybody was on it. I had no idea what was going on. Like in the first semester of my college, computers had become a thing. And we had computer science as a course.
Yeah.
Until then, computer science, like when you were probably in college, computer science and all was a big course.
Oh yeah.
When I went to college, computer science was just on the rise. And suddenly it became this massive thing. And first semester, I failed in like the fundamentals of computing. I am not kidding, dude. First semester arrear I had. I felt so dumb. I was like, I shouldn't probably do engineering. What is the shit if they want to say I can't do this?
So you fought for 1 year. What my dad did was, and this was, I think, mistake on both my dad and the seller. So
what computer did you get?
What computer?
Like, did you put together like a computer brand, or like, did you get a branded computer? Like, I had HCL.
I think mine was also HCL.
Yeah, like there were
Probably, yeah, there were a few, but I think it was HCL. And yeah, so the story is that, of course, computers were expensive, like 20,000, 30,000 rupees or whatever.
More.
Yeah. So now my dad he wanted to get a computer because my sister was getting into engineering and she needed something at home. Both the other cousins, they also, everyone were growing up and computer was becoming a thing, and we had quite a few people in my building that were already in the States for their masters or were planning to go. So वो जो environment में I grew up was kind of very educative and like competitive environment. So my dad and finally thought that ठीक है computer घर पे आना चाहिए. Now what he did, and this is again something my mom still jokes about, he went to the store and it was some known person store. वो अंकल भी चूतिया ही था. वो डैड को बोला कि एक कंप्यूटर आया लेके गया था पर वो बंदे को अच्छा नहीं लगा इसलिए वो दे गया. And my dad asked him क्या रेट है. I don't know the rate and those specifics, but I think there was a good difference because used computer, it's done, right? Used electronics, the price goes away. Just because my dad was able to save money, he got that computer. And we got to know that computer was actually faulty. The amount of money that we had spent on fixing those things in the coming years, we would have actually given that amount there itself
to
get a new computer. We would have never faced a problem because हुआ ऐसा ना कि किसी को घर पे आता नहीं था computer. Like we were all still quite small, like 8th grade, 9th grade. It's not a lot to understand those things. एक इंजीनियर आया था जो फिक्स करने आया था. वो बोलता है सर आपके घर से जितनी बार हमको सपोर्ट के लिए कॉल आता है ना और जितनी बार हम आके विजिट करके जाते हैं उतना पैसे में आपका नया कंप्यूटर आया था. That was the first time it hit me that few things you should just buy for what they are.
Few things our parents are dumb.
They were. I mean, that's what I'm saying, right? It was not just the shop owner's mistake. It was also because my dad.
I think I should go.
Yeah, it was not just the shop owner. It was also my dad because, and
Dude,
that's what I'm saying.
All
like
our parents have done dumb shit.
My mom was. That's why, like, थोड़े पैसे के लिए, we just screwed up the entire thing. And then we had to learn. The good part was because of those things, we learned a lot. I learned a lot of the hardware and the things that happened around because बार फिक्स करने के लिए you have to pay them 200 to 300 rupees.
correct.
RAM गया, कुछ ये गया, motherboard गया,
That's
तो
true.
thousands में जा रहा है. So then I started understanding कि there are markets where you can go and pick those parts and put those. So
You
I
get
started
those
doing
experiences, dude.
Yeah, so
It's a nice experience.
and that's where I got my interest in computers as well,
Yeah.
at least on the hardware side, because CPU तो मेरे घर का I think for a long time I used to do it by myself. कितनी बार पैसे से जाके फिर एक बार फेंक ही दिया. Finally, like वो भी they didn't leave it, like because it was the first computer they had spent. They were not ready to leave that computer, but it came to a point that that computer couldn't be even upgraded. And they finally put a stone on their heart and they were like, ठीक है इसको आज जाने देते हैं. अभी भी that's those are the things that I
also develop a sentimental value after.
It is of course, like for middle class objects are to
become
somewhere
part of you.
Yeah, because
You start hoarding habits.
you cannot leave
It's like,
those.
यार अभी नहीं, like you.
Yeah,
part
of course.
your
I
life.
mean, till date, I'm pretty sure at your place back in India as well.
Yeah,
your mom
there are
keeps
things.
those dabbas.
They'll
things
be
that
there
they
forever.
cannot throw them.
Yeah,
That just comes with middle class. Being
That's
a middle
okay.
class.
That's okay.
That's okay. I'm just saying
Nice thing.
that is what makes us
Yeah.
class.
Just that, but class. True. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Nice. In a way, it's also nostalgic when you go back.
Oh yeah. And
I think that's why they have it.
The funny part is, I get angry every time I'm in India and asking my mom to throw it away. And then, कुछ ना कुछ होता है and it's probably somewhere down the line that I only use it. कि हाँ मेरे को इसकी जरूरत है. Yeah. So, but anyways, all right. I think we spoke about a lot of things. I think we can.
I think we should talk about sports in the next.
Yeah. We can talk about a lot of like. We can generally talk about our childhood or our school time and
school
what all
time.
we did. We can have a lot of things, how we learned abuses, how we got
Y2K,
girlfriends, Y2K. Yeah, I mean there are a lot of things. Yeah. All right. But thanks a lot, guys, for hearing us
and being here.
and being here. If you are till the end here, means a lot to us, and good luck to you as well.
All right.
All right, talk to you next episode. Good night, guys. Bye.